Hi guys, it's me Erica, and so I know I kind of skipped Sunday, but I have a reason for that. I was supposed to film on Saturday after work, but then I got really sleepy, and then I can't really film Sunday because I also go to another job, so that is the reason why. So I was like, save the time and like just rest for your day. And this is the video where I talk about my embarrassing con stories. I've been going to conventions for about 10 plus years, and to be honest, there's been a lot of embarrassing stories rather than like horror stories, which everyone a lot of people experience, but I haven't really gone into one horror story, which is good actually. Yeah, this kind of embarrassing con story is going to be split up into two because I'm going to be telling like 4 stories, and I just thought maybe it'll be too long to put into one video, so I'm gonna split into 2. Weirdly enough, all my embarrassing con stories happened in Fanime, which is a local convention in San Jose that I attend every year since 2010. And the first 2 stories that I'm going to be telling actually happened in my first year of Fanime because, first big conventions are always a very great mystery and struggle. So the first story I'm going to be telling has to do with Flow, and Flow is this very famous Japanese rock band that is very well known for doing anime openings such as Colors, which is featured as the Code Geass opening, and Fighting Dreamers, which is the opening for Naruto, which I feel like every anime fan, even if you're just getting into anime, knows that band, or at least knows those songs from the band. They were the guests for Fanime that year for Music Fest, and Music Fest is just the concert aspect of Fanime that is included with your ticket when you buy it. So Fanime hosts all these concert events related to the music artists, which at that year was Flow and LMC, on a separate kind of hall, which is very near the convention. It's actually across the street from it. And 2010 was my first year attending Fanime, so I had no idea what was going on. And Music Fest at the time was, since there was 2 people for their guests, they would share the 4 days of Fanime across those 2 guests. So Friday would be one concert, and then Sunday would be another concert. And me being the newbie didn't know Flow's concert was on Friday. And I decided not to go on Friday because at the time my middle school didn't count Friday as a holiday. Because of that school aspect, I didn't go on Friday. So when I went on Saturday, I asked the rover, hey, when is the Flow concert? Because it wasn't on the pamphlet. And then they're like, sorry, but you missed it. It happened yesterday. I was like, oh no. But then they were like, it's okay. You can go to their autograph signing, which is actually happening today, and it's at 2 p.m. And me being not knowing how conventions and signings works, I was like, oh, so it's happening on 2 a.m. I'll get there at 2 p.m. I'll get there 30 minutes before the signing is over, so I don't have to wait in line. Well, yeah, they cut off the line at I think 3 o'clock. And the signing was supposed to be over at 4, but when I went there at 3, they're like, oh no, sorry, we aren't taking any more people for the line. And I was like, and then I was kind of disappointed, but not to the point where I was super sad. I just wanted to meet Japanese artists because I was really into Japanese music at the time. But this is only the start of the story. So after that moment, coming next day, Sunday, I saw Flow 4 times, and it was really funny because the first time I saw them when I was walking to the convention, because I had my friend drive me with her parents, and we would just park in the parking lot that was near and then just walk down to the convention. And then I was walking with my friend, and I looked to my side and I heard people speaking Japanese, and I realized it was Flow. And I was like, hey, that's the Japanese band over there, the Flow band. Of course my friend was like, why don't you ask for a picture? But I was like, no, it's okay, because I had the impression that they're probably gonna say no, and they're probably gonna want to say incognito because they're just walking around with convention goers. And To be honest, if you saw Flo and you weren't really a big fan of them, you would just think that they were just random people just attending the convention, which they do blend in. So I didn't ask for a picture because I was like, I want to be that nice person and not bother them while they're like exploring San Jose, because this is like one of their first times here. So I will let them be. Then come to entering the convention center, I saw them again walking the halls, and I was like, no, it's okay, Erica, just don't ask. Don't ask them for a picture. And then I saw them again entering Music Fest because they wanted to support the other band that was there. I was like, no, Erica, it's fine. Like, you're being a good person. You're not asking them for a picture. And the concert goes on. Exit Music Fest. They're there again, exiting Music Fest. And then again, I was like, it's okay, Erica, just don't ask them. You want to be the good person and not ask them, right? And I was like, okay, just let them be. Then I go home. And one of my older family friends also went to Fanime, and I guess he had taken a picture of one of his friends, and of course if you have, I think his friend tagged him as like photo creds for the picture, and of course if you're friends of friends, you will see that Facebook post in your feed. And lo and behold, my friend had taken a picture of his friend with one of the singers for Flow, and I was like, what? I could have asked and they wouldn't have gotten angry. I'm so upset, not at them but at myself, because I was just in this kind of state like that. I was like, what? I missed my chance. It was them telling me to ask them because I saw them 4 times and I didn't. Like, why didn't I have this luck later on in my life when I was trying to see X4? Like, and so that whole experience is just very funny because I was just like, had my chance, didn't take it kind of moments. So my second story also coincides with that Flow story, and it's actually interconnected with that, to be honest. So as I mentioned, LMC was the Sunday music performance, and I actually knew LMC more than I did Flow because I like J-Rock, the visual K aspect more, and I was more into that and then the actual rock portion like what Flow was. So I was very excited to see LMC, that I even stayed out waiting in line for like 7+ hours, which I'm thinking like, how the heck did I do that when I was like 11 years old? Like, I can't even do that now, like with some of the bands that I really like. That's just like, I guess I got older and I'm just like, nope, I'm not doing that again. Because we were in this line for 7 hours, we had to get a lot of food, and I was young at the time. I was like 11, 10 or something, waiting outside with my friend at the time, and her parents actually went to the convention to like chaperone us, but they let us be anyways. They were really nice and got us food from like the fast food centers around and like dropped it off with us for the waiting in the line aspect. But okay, so let me say something about fast food at conventions. Like, fast food is supposed to be fast. Like, I get it. Fast food is supposed to be fast, but especially when there's like convention goers and a very high amount of people going to these fast food restaurants, the quality usually goes way worse down than it usually is. So I never buy fast food at conventions just because they often are not good. But of course I'm not going to throw away the fast food that I had gotten from my friend's parents. And so this fast food restaurant was McDonald's, of course. So they had ordered me like 10-piece chicken nuggets and fries. So when I first took a bite of that chicken nugget, I realized it wasn't cooked all the way. It was very mushy, but I'm like, her parents bought this for me, I'm gonna eat it all. And then I drank soda and then even ate fries, and I was just like, okay, I finished it. It's kind of disgusting, but at least I finished it. This was a really big mistake. So I guess 30 minutes after waiting, and this was probably at 4, so I had like 3 more hours to wait for LMC with my friend. And my friend Nancy had come and joined us too for the line. So I'm just like, my stomach really hurts. My stomach's starting to like grumble and it really hurt, and I'm like in pain silently next to my friends. And to let you know how the setup is for Music Fest's like concert area, because it's very important to the next part that's coming. So there is Music Fest, there's 2 streets, and then the convention center. So usually for the convention center you walk the sidewalk, then you get to the concert hall. So the streets actually have, of course, sewage lines to it, which is very, very helpful to know. So going to the point, so my stomach really hurts. I was just like, I need to let out some gas, but I can't let anyone know. So of course I let it out silently, the gas, and then I smell my fart, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is the worst fart I've ever smelled. And other people were smelling it too, because I could see the the nose of disgust in their faces, but they couldn't tell it was fart, because I told you there was the street, so they thought I played it off as like the sewage line was probably the one that's doing it, and probably the cars that were also doing that. So I just so periodically I let out a fart when I'm in line, to eventually some guy probably just wanted to comment on the smell on the sewage because he thought it was the sewage, and then he was all like, hey, anyone smell that? And then everyone's like, everyone's at a convention, so they're being really like nice and like answering and like, yeah, we smell it. He's like, and then the guy says, it smells like rotten eggs. And then of course everyone says, ew, me included. And then I'm just like trying to play it off because I know it's me. And then when I went home, I never told anyone about it until probably a couple years later. I was like, hey Nancy, like, do you remember when we went to the LMC concert in line and then it smelled like a bunch of rotten eggs? And he's like, yeah, I remember that. She's like, I don't think it was the rotten eggs in the sewage that smelled like that. I think it was because of me, because I was having a really bad time with my stomach. And she was like, oh my gosh, Erica, like, why? It's like, I didn't want to be mean to like her, like my other friend's parents. And yeah. So that was an embarrassing story, because hopefully they didn't know that was me, but I'm pretty sure some people may have picked up now that I think about it and just not brought it up, because everyone's just like tired waiting in line for like 7+ hours. So yeah, that is all my convention part embarrassing stories for now. Go ahead and watch part 2, which will be out tomorrow, or linked up in the card below, above, if you're watching this at later day. But it's very embarrassing and very funny at the same time, those 2 stories. And like, as I mentioned, conventions, usually in the first year, when you go, it's very likely you're gonna have an embarrassing moment, just because you don't know where anything is, you're still experiencing, and yada yada yada. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It made me laugh. It made me laugh. But my story might not be as embarrassing, or like, why didn't you do it kind of moments. But yes, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you for the next part of the video coming out tomorrow. Bye!